Hello and welcome to After the Movie Podcast, the podcast that teaches you the knots the Boy Scouts don't want you to know. But before we get to that, we'll be reviewing the 1978 film Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. With me, as always, is Quinn.
Oh,
Alex.
How's it going?
Dane.
Hello.
And unfortunately on paternity leave is, unfortunately he's not here, but congrats on his new,
Yes.
Congrats to Beggs on his new baby girl.
So I, in homage to Beggs and his paternity leave and his new baby girl, have posted a picture of a baby girl. This isn't Beggs' baby girl, mind you. I didn't have time to okay it with him before the podcast, but that random baby girl is representative of Beggs' bouncing new baby.
There we go. And I just can't film myself today for work reasons, so that's why you can't see me.
so don't ask questions.
He's a secret agent.
Don't ask.
Yeah, he works for
You're
the
Asian man.
he works for the Chinese government.
Hey, don't be saying that. Right now.
Well, congrats to, can we say congrats to Paul and Sarah on the birth of Madison, or is that too
Let's just
specific?
bleep out Sarah if Sarah doesn't like it. And all those
There you
other
go.
Sarahs I threw in there. In fact, this whole chain of Sarahs will just be bleep, bleep.
So really, congrats to Bleep and Bleep on their Bleep. All right, to kick this off, let's go around and get some ratings. Dane, what was your opinion of this
Yes.
movie?
Of Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. I'll keep it short and quick. This was a one-star movie that everybody needs to see immediately. This is a strong recommended watch.
And this is Martin's system coming to pay the piper because, you know, there are one-star movies that you need to watch. And so Martin
Mhm.
adding that need to watch or don't need to watch, that was a good call.
Yep.
Oh yeah, it's paying off dividends. Oh. Mo, what did you give this?
I would agree with the 1 star. I'm going to have to go with a don't watch, however.
All right. Quinn.
I give this a 1 star and a don't watch out of me, even though it did make me laugh. I just want to know, how did Richie Rich get enough money and enough people to agree with him to make a movie, or whatever 12-year-old kid got enough money to make this movie?
Well, I mean, how Richie Rich got the money is simple. He's part of the Rich family. He's Richie Rich
There you go.
Jr. His dad owns Rich
Yeah.
Enterprises. I just rewatched Richie Rich.
Yeah, they're
What
inherently
the- I was
rich.
about to say, like, how the fuck do you know that?
Dane, I've been on a bad 90s movie kick. Started when I got my teeth yanked, and it's continuing strong.
I got my
Damn.
teeth yanked and my back went out, and I've been watching Richie Rich over and over again.
Guys, on that note, my back did go out today, and later this evening, I will be high.
There you go.
Much in
There
the
you
same
go.
way that I was when my teeth were yanked. But I'm cast and sober because I
Oh,
love
there
the
we go.
audience so much.
Yeah.
You got to give it all
Big.
your heart when you're here. You know, you can't have those drugs get
No,
in the
you-
way of performing.
But to our loving audience, I did take 800 milligrams of ibuprofen. That's just for transparency because you guys know I'm always, honest Al. That's what they call me.
I never thought of calling you Al.
Yeah,
That's
my
the
uncle
thing.
used to call
sick.
the only person
Oh.
who used to the only person who ever called me Al was my great uncle.
Ugh. Well, your
Now
great
I have that
uncle was
stupid
an
song.
idiot. Yeah.
Now I have
Jane,
that
I'm
dumb
with you.
song
Yes.
by Paul Simon stuck in my head now. So thanks for that, Mo.
But
Thanks.
Mo,
Hey,
you can call me Betty, but I will not call you Al.
Hey, it's cool, baby. Roll with the punches.
Martin,
Yeah, what was Martin's
since-
opinion?
I
I-
want to know. You chose this movie. Tell us what you thought.
I'd say it's so I'm going to give it a 3 and a watch. Because
Three.
Ooh,
I think
spicy.
it's an average B movie that has, funny bits in it, and I think it kind of started off a thing that, built on for generations and gave us some of the other movies that we love.
It does seem to
I
be
can-
the earliest version of a total spoof movie that I can think of.
Is this before or after Airplane?
It's before,
This
2
is,
years
like,
before.
2 years before. Now I just
So-
got to think. Did American or did the Kentucky Fried Movie come out before this one?
I don't know what that is.
Because
Neither do
Kentucky
I.
Fried Movie is a David Zucker movie, and Zucker was the guy that made Airplane. But I know for facts Kentucky Fried Movie came before Airplane, but I don't know if it came before Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh,
Oh my.
So
okay. Well, I was
I'm
thinking,
not good.
as far as spoof movies go, I was going to say, is Young Frankenstein earlier than this as well?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
that was
Yeah.
actually
I mean-
most Mel Brooks movies
Yeah.
came before this one.
Yeah.
So what I mean by this, I guess it's this type of spoof movie where
Yeah.
it has no underlying plot other than it's to be a spoof. Like, it's not drawing off of anything else in particular. It's just to spoof the bad 50s movies.
Yeah. Yeah, it's more of a whole genre than just one thing in particular.
Right.
Yeah. I agree. But I think they did a great job spoofing the terrible 50s movies, and
Yeah.
I love the small room scene with everyone
The
climbing.
small room is hysterical. And I watched this with my mom, and she was cracking up too, that they would have the guys. Sorry, this is the only room I could book.
I thought
That
the
is such a
soldier singing
hysterical
and
bit.
dancing
Yeah.
that always gets me. that he like coming out with that whole patriotic thing and then going into such a Broadway style dance number. That always makes me laugh.
The
I
one
want to know where the
he's
hell they
doing
got the money to.
the Elvis impersonation and everything else, that little bit?
Yeah.
Okay. Fantastic.
I want to know where they got the money to crash a helicopter.
Was anybody
I
else
looked
in
it up.
Soup? Oh, okay. Did you?
I looked that up actually. That was unintentional. They did not. That helicopter legit crashed, and they were not intending to do it.
It had to be that way.
And
I'm
they
like, how did
just
they do
happened-
that?
No
They
one.
just so happened to be filming it, and it made the final cut. So like all the cops that were right next to that helicopter, like they could have died. They could have been. They could have shown legit people getting destroyed in a helicopter crash.
And it's such a
Exact
low
word.
budget that I'm like, how did they do this and make it look so real? This is
Yeah.
crazy.
How did they convince
It
the cops that they
actually
meant to
happened.
do that?
Yeah.
Yeah. It actually happened. So that was kind of crazy. That was amazing, right?
That was really awesome. And that's hysterical.
So I had a couple things about this movie I wanted to talk about,
Yeah.
to discuss, right? So it's a 1-star movie, and I don't say that just because like the production values are poor. It's the premise and the concept is absolutely just ludicrous, ridiculous. I have a special place in my heart for stupid, zany comedies, and I'm sure you boys all can agree that I'm not an opponent to those type of comedies, right?
Dane, I would say that you've never been anything but an opponent to that kind of comedy. No, I'm just
Oh,
joking.
come on. Oh, come on.
No, I would. No,
You've
you
always
are
been
very
quite
much.
the prude.
Yes. No
So-
sense of humor from Dane.
So this, to me, is an example of a movie that was trying to spoof something, and most of the time it fell flat in what it was trying to do. So I totally love spoof movies that can hit their mark, Airplane being a big one. This one did not really do much along the lines of hitting the mark of parroting or spoofing these old, super bad B movies from the 50s. A lot of the humor did not really do much at all for me. And I thought that it was going, like, everything was going to set itself up to be right up my alley just based off of the opening, the song, right, during the credits. I thought that was great. Thought it was hysterical. But then the movie takes a turn into being like this political espionage thing, and like it's all about Mason Dixon and the secret agents that he gets from the government, and whether or not the press secretary really wants these secrets let out. And it kind of got a little bit too serious for exactly why this whole thing would be happening, which was tomatoes killing people. I don't know. To me, it fell flat in a lot of it.
When you say it that way, it sounds hilarious, though.
See, I should have been the one to direct this movie, not whoever it was that actually
Wow,
directed this
Dane,
movie.
I think
Yeah.
that's probably true. But I did think a lot of the jokes fell flat, and you know, I just didn't think that I don't know. I didn't think there was a lot of humor. There was stuff that made me laugh, but not.
Well, I mean, yeah, some of it was. I laughed a little bit when the black guy was dressed up as Hitler, and then he
I
was
thought that
dressed
was-
up as the tomato. And
Yeah.
I thought that was goofy
I thought
in
that-
a funny way.
It didn't make me laugh. I don't know.
You didn't think it was funny that that guy tried to kill him because he thought he was Hitler? He's a black guy in a
Yes.
terrible outfit. Terrible Hitler outfit.
Yeah.
When we discuss it in a round table after the fact, I can laugh at it. But watching it, I was just like, oh, it's just not doing much for
You
me.
know what? I think you guys had a little bit of a hard on for this movie when you started watching it. I think that's why it didn't work. All right, you weren't open.
I mean, I wanted to like it.
know.
I really came in, and you heard me last time we talked. I was just like, I really wanted to see this movie, and it just
last time we
didn't add
talked-
up, man.
Last time we talked, I told you that Quinn and I loved this movie when we were little.
Yeah, I know.
There you go. Yeah.
So I didn't come into it.
So everyone had preconceived notions about this movie. Dane was excited for it to be good. You were excited to be as good as you remember. No one went into it neutral. Only I did, and I gave it a 3. So what does that say?
Well, I guess that says that this movie's
What does
actually
that tell
three.
you?
I mean, I guess you're right. When you're right, Martin.
That's right.
Also, just wanted to take a moment to say, very nice touch right there, Mo. Rest in peace, Grant Imahara.
Yeah, so I didn't want the strange baby up there all the time. So yeah, this is no more.
He deserved
That's
better than a
appreciated.
strange baby, followed by.
Yeah.
So it might have been an awkward segue, but yes, rest in peace.
Who is it?
He's yeah. I'll let Alex.
Grant
say it.
Imahara. Go ahead, Mo.
He is one of the co-hosts of MythBusters, and then I think he was one of the front men for it when Jamie and Adam left.
Okay.
So, fun fact about Killer Tomatoes. The person who sang Puberty Love, the song that makes the tomatoes shrink,
Oh, okay.
was
Oh, yeah.
Matt Cameron, who later became the drummer for Soundgarden, and since
Ooh, and Pearl Jam.
1998, has been the drummer for Pearl Jam.
What? That's crazy.
That's really dumb.
It's pretty
That's awesome. Okay,
And by dumb, I mean
this
great.
This movie is now a 2 in my eyes, just because of that one fun fact.
good. We need like the gauge to move the overall score of the movie as we talk.
Yeah, it's true.
It keeps taking a little bit better and better.
Okay,
Mhm,
so
mhm.
do we have screen sharing going?
I can turn it on real quick.
Don't share my. I won't share my screen.
Well, don't- share it. Don't
Whatever you
share
do,
it.
don't share it.
Yes, right now would be inopportune.
Oh boy.
Do you want to show something on your screen, Mo, or are
Yes,
you waiting?
I do, but
Okay.
it'll be just a second.
All right.
Oh, wow,
Finish
this
up
is
something
great.
else.
Oh my.
So apparently they're gonna reboot it too. They're gonna. I don't know. They had like the '90s like
The-
cartoon of it, didn't they?
So I looked into this. There's like 2 or 3 sequels that they came with after this first one. Then there's the animated TV series for kids, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me either. But now you're saying they're trying to reboot it again?
Yeah. Well,
game.
there was a canceled remake,
Oof.
and then
Oh,
it
now
was,
they're rebooting the canceled remake of Attack of the Killer
Yeah.
Tomatoes.
And
Wow,
then they.
a must
and
see.
then- And then in July of 2018, Steve Peace and Costa Dillon announced a reboot at the San Diego Comic-Con. Filming began in July 2019, directed by
Oh.
Dustin Ferguson.
Uh-oh, guys. Sorry, I'm screwing stuff up here.
Oh, damn it.
We're getting really far down a rabbit hole here, boys.
All right.
Oh
Well,
boy.
real quick, Dane, Kentucky Fried
Yes.
Movie was before this movie.
Okay. All right. I actually
I-
have an old DVD copy of that at my parents' place.
I think I might want to.
It's not worth.
It's not worth
It's
watching.
not worth watching, but you can. It's not worth watching, but I can get it to you next time I'm home. I'm just
All
gonna
right.
give it to you, Martin, so it doesn't take up space on my shelf.
There we go. I'm gonna make sure that happens.
You have to
There we
watch out
go.
that it's not just some teenage porn DVD that you hid in the chicken fried movie case because nobody
Right.
would be the wiser.
And he didn't have the heart to destroy it.
To clarify that statement, because we've kind of gone off topic a couple times here. Quinn is referring to a movie that a teenager would have, not a movie featuring.
Right.
Right.
Yes. Yes.
Not the fun kind of movie.
Am I sharing the
Oh,
screen, boys?
No, you're not. You gotta
Oh,
press the
damn it.
button.
Mo.
I
buddy.
did. I pressed the damn button.
George
press it harder.
Lazenby is in Kentucky Fried Movie.
Everybody
Is he?
likes to hear an old man
Yeah.
scream on Zoom about how he
Wow.
can't make the functions work.
I'm doing it, damn it. I'm doing it. All right.
All right, now you're doing it.
Here we go.
Let's see it.
Is it gonna play the audio?
It's gonna have an ad at the very beginning, I bet.
Mo.
There's no
There's the
sound.
sound, Mo.
There's
Yeah.
no sound?
And also,
There's no
I don't
sound.
believe we're allowed to show this.
Oh.
So really, from the beginning, this whole thing was fucked.
Yeah. You guys can't hear that?
No.
No.
Not in the slightest. Not at all.
After a pandemic of everybody being on Zoom, this is exactly what they want to hear. Just an old man
Yep.
screaming about what we can hear
Yeah.
and what we can see.
Well, listen,
Is it on? Can you say it?
What's the damn password?
I think that some of my old man stuff in there should stay on, but if there's copyright issues, we can just edit it out.
Yeah, I think we'll just take a couple clips out, but we'll make sure to show the frustration.
And the grumpy old man while your back's out and you
Yeah. And I'm
You
pining
gotta-
for drugs.
yeah.
Oh yeah. I was just wondering what Beggs would have thought about this movie, and if you had, did any of you have your significant others watch this with you?
Casey started it. She was quite upset with it, and she bailed.
Steph,
It's pretty short for a terrible movie, though.
yeah, at least they did it that way. They didn't make it last forever.
When they
Yeah.
got to the first musical number with the ad agency, Casey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was terrible.
Casey, my lovely fiance, is 100% against musicals.
Really?
Even
I didn't
poorly
know this.
done musicals.
Yeah, even poorly. It doesn't really. I don't know. Doesn't really get her interest
Get her goat.
going.
Oh,
No.
Well, I watched this
Interesting.
with my dad because we saw it on Prime randomly last weekend, and we wanted to watch this. We watched it like Mo and Quinn did when they were kids, but it was always Return of the Killer Tomatoes instead of Attack.
Oh.
So we finally got to
that one
watch
being
this.
on a lot more too.
Yeah.
Turn.
Mm-hmm.
Quinn
If
and
we
I
get
Here's
with
this
the
one.
discussion to what was on television in the 90s, I think Alex can spend a solid hour talking
All right,
about
all right.
that.
we've already
Augie,
had this conversation.
Augie and the
on-
Cockroaches. Is that right? You do remember that one, Mo?
No.
Okay. I came across on 1990s television. I can't remember.
No, that
Uh,
one. I missed that one.
Martin, how does this one compare to Return of the Killer Tomatoes?
Well, I don't quite remember Return. I was a little too young.
So you don't know if they did a good job doing it justice.
No, but I know I like this more than I ever liked Return, even though I don't remember Return at all. But I didn't really care for it when I was a kid.
I see. Okay.
Not for me. Too goofy.
Ah, yeah, it didn't quite. Didn't like the lowbrow stuff.
No. Martin was a very sophisticated kid whose humor has degraded immensely over time.
Yes.
So now it's mostly 100% poop jokes and maybe a tomato or something here and there.
Well, growing up in the 1930s Russian aristocracy was quite
Let me tell
a
you what
conservative
wasn't.
household. You really couldn't do poop jokes back then.
No, they didn't.
Let me tell you what wasn't funny. Communism. The Red Menace in America.
Thank you, Senator McCarthy.
Dane, I think that's a classified sound clip that I'm gonna have to bleep out of this thing.
Dane is currently fighting tomatoes in the
In the great Ozark Mountains.
yeah.
So what about the
You hear that
sounds?
helicopter? It's about to fall down right now, just like in the movie.
I thought the sounds that the tomato made were hilarious.
Yeah.
So dumb.
Right?
And then the big tomato with earmuffs that was outsmarted the music.
It's great. The guy walking around with the parachute the whole movie, that was funny.
I didn't like that.
You didn't like it? I thought it was funny.
I thought of all of them, he was the funniest one of the secret agents, just because, like, the very first thing that you see of him, right? Like, I didn't see this because I had to rewind it a little bit, but
Did you
when
fall
the-
asleep in it too? Because I fell asleep the first time.
there's definitely a part I fell asleep, yes. But I rewound it, and the part where the female reporter first talks to Mason, right? And she's just like, Mason, and she like is following him out onto the street. There's like another guy in the background that's just like pointing up in the sky like he's finding Superman or something. But it was the freaking dude in the parachute.
Oh, I did not catch that. I had no
Neither did
idea
I.
what that was about.
yeah. Oh yeah. It's like up and away, and it was totally homeboy in the parachute.
Like I said, this was either Richie Rich Productions or it was three kids in a trench coat on each other's shoulders.
All right. Well, I'm happy we all enjoyed this, and it's a
Oh, yeah.
well loved
Oh,
movie
yeah.
by everybody.
Oh yeah.
Indeed. That's definitely how this goes down. We all loved it.
I don't
Beg's rating pending.
I don't think that he's gonna like it. I don't know. That's just my
You
guess.
don't think so?
No.
I think it's gonna be too silly for Beggs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he might find some stuff funny, but it'll have offended him too much to admit that the stuff that he found funny was funny.
Or there was one really stupid part that he found funny, and that made the whole movie great for him.
Yeah.
Oh,
and then he's just
Because that's
So
how
guys-
that's how beans are. Beans are like that.
So guys,
yeah, that's just how tomatoes act.
the other day when I was bored at work, a thought came across my head, and this was the question I posed to myself, and I'm going to pose it to you guys. If I'll limit it to the five of us here, you could think as if you were any one of the five, who would you choose and why?
I'm sorry, Quinn was playing with something. Which,
Oh yeah, Quinn, this is really enthralling podcasting.
Yeah.
oh, look at that thing go! Wow.
People love listening to the sound of fiddling.
Well, but Quinn, how about you describe what you're fiddling with and how it makes you feel?
It's a paperweight there, Martin, and it's kind of got a spinner thing, and it's got these twisty lines, which I think are exciting, and it makes it seem like there's like some kind of string or something attached to it,
These twisty lines.
which I find enthralling.
These twisty lines. Twisty lines are exciting. Can that be an album name for us, please?
Yes.
Twisty lines are exciting.
I'm here to mesmerize the eyes and dazzle the intellect.
So to anybody who's strictly consuming our podcast on an audio platform. This is the kind of exciting things you're missing if you're not watching the.
Yeah, I'd highly suggest going
YouTube.
to the YouTube channel and really checking out episode
So, but we could
16.
we can listen to grumpy old man Alex talk about some thought experiment that he was talking about. What was it?
If you could think like any one of the five of us, that's not you.
Right.
Who would it be
Right.
and why?
Oh,
Wait, what does that mean? If I could
Okay,
think
so I will.
like
I will.
I'm someone else?
Yeah, like you're. Yeah, so I was thinking, if I had the thought process of any one of my friends, who would it be?
For what benefit? Like for a benefit or
No,
just to
no,
see
not
what
for a
it's like?
benefit. Just to see the world through their eyes.
Oh yeah. Yeah,
And
Beggs.
I came up with Beggs.
Yeah,
because
Beggs is-
that bastard is crazy.
Mhm. Yeah.
And even
know,
though he
it's-
and I see eye to eye on quite a few things, like all the five of us, the way that he reaches the same conclusions as I do, and that's the ones that really intrigue me. Not where we differ, but where we agree, and how he comes to those conclusions, and how I do. Boy, it's totally opposite of one another.
Yeah. No, it's hillbilly logic usually is what brings him to the
Yeah.
end.
Oh,
With
yeah.
a sprinkle
Oh,
of
yeah.
crazy.
Yeah. It's like half gypsy folklore and half like Indian tradition. And
Got any more slurs
a
you want
lot
to throw
of
in there,
those.
Quinn?
For a lot of those same reasons, I would choose you, Mo. For me, just strictly for me, just because I feel like you and I, like, we're on the same wavelength, but at the same time, like, you come up with some very differing opinions on things.
Yeah.
And plus, I'd like to understand like your reasoning for why you find some movies good and some movies bad.
Yeah. Well, I I thought of something really snarky, and then I decided it sounded too
Say
mean. Well, but I wanted to
Say
preface it because without it, it sounded too mean. But that's exactly why I don't want to think like you, Dane, because I don't want to like the movies you do.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful.
So I felt without some preface of the fact that it was a joke, that it was going to sound way too mean.
Not at all. Not at all.
Well, I'd pick Beggs, and I would never pick Quinn because if I was seeing everything through Quinn's eyes, I think he'd get too distracted by
He's
everything.
not even listening to us now.
Yeah, exactly. And see, I'm already getting pissed off. But look at that, though. He's at it
you
again.
guys are so wrapped up in your world, so you can't see everything that there is to fiddle with.
No, Quinn, put it down. Let's get back to what we were doing. No, I think I'm gonna fiddle with that.
Nah, I need to fiddle a little bit.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna fiddle a little bit, and then I'm gonna get back to that.
Why is time a thing? Oh, we need to get back to work. Oh, there's something about the Mars rover. Let's look at that.
I saw something about the Mars rover too.
All right, who's next on the movie list? I believe it is Dane, correct?
Dun,
Me!
dun,
Yep.
All right. Dane, what do you
All
have
right.
in store for us next week?
I can hear
Okay.
him salivating.
Oh boy. So, for everybody who's listening, I don't think it's is in last week's episode, but I really wanted to make my choice to be the first bad B movie choice for the group, but Martin sniped me 1 week before I could do it, so I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm 50-50 on my choices, my two choices, but I'm really thinking that next week we are going to be watching a newer movie, one that came out last year, I believe, 2019, maybe it's 2018. But this movie stars our boy Willem Dafoe,
Oh boy.
and it also stars an actor who I'm not sure exactly what the thought is on him based in our group, just based off of some movies that he's famous for. This movie is called The Lighthouse,
Oh,
and
Oh.
it stars Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson.
Gotcha.
Okay, done.
I just
Gotcha.
watched this movie.
Oh, you did? Oh, damn.
You just what? Oh, I never heard of this.
I have not. I've been wanting to watch this movie for a long time. It was up there with Parasite last year for the two biggest movies that I wanted to watch. And I just got to seeing Parasite a couple months back. I'm finally thinking that now's the time for all of us to watch this one. I was hoping this would be one that none of us had seen, but well, I just got proved wrong by Mo.
I
So,
just watched it.
has anybody else here seen this movie?
No.
I have not. No. Is it on Prime?
It is on Prime. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the movie that we'll be watching for next week.
Well,
We're a
spoiler
ship
alert,
without.
I fell asleep during it.
Well, then you have to rewatch.
Well,
Well,
there we go.
It's yeah, but it's just a joke because I fall asleep. I fell asleep in this movie. I don't know how many times I've said on the podcast I fell asleep through it and had to rewatch part of it.
We're a
All right.
ship without a captain. We don't have any call to action.
Oh,
Yeah, we
how
could
timely
try.
that you would say that.
I-
Go
I
ahead,
could-
Martin.
I was saying, no, I'm gonna clip Beg saying it from another episode. I don't fucking know how to say it.
There we go.
Great idea.
But for all of you fans, this is the segment we like to call our call to action.
We
Which is
love-
really
we
just an
love
outline
calling
for a
it that.
podcast, but as long as you guys know what we're about to do, you can either turn the thing off or continue. If you like this show, please subscribe, follow, like, comment, and above all else, care on any and all social media outlets. You can find us at After the Movie Podcast on YouTube and anywhere that you listen to your subscribed podcasts like this one, because you're a subscriber. Additionally, if you would like to interact with us even more, you can find us on our Twitter handle at After the Movie PC. That's After the Movie PC.
Are you smoking yet?
And then we just keep reusing that one.
That's
Here we
true.
go.
As long as it has to be like a neutral one that doesn't have any time sensitive information on it. No topical
right.
references.
I sure hate that COVID.
Don't we all?
If you're not too busy at your Black Lives Matter rally,
Right.
you should take the time to.
Anything that'll make it look like it was pre-recorded.
Was it for a cab when it came The lights place of freshness had dice in the mirror. If anything that I could say at this cab was rare, said, nah man, forget it, home to Bel Air. I pulled up to the house about 7 or 8 and yelled to the cabbie home. Smell you later, looked at my kingdom, I was finally there. Sitting on my throne at the Prince of Bel Air.